Nation! Salute! We're back! D'Angelo Russell is the dumbest NBA player in the league, and I've been saying that for years, and finally, bro, he went to my city in Dallas, and I have clips of this dude playing horrible, absolutely horrible. And now people are exposing him, finally, bro. Like, I really started the D'Angelo Russell hate. It's crazy. All right, man. D'Angelo Russell, shout out to who made this video. Daniel Lee. Shout out Daniel Lee. D'Angelo Russell's low IQ drives the Dallas Mavericks insane. We are live streaming. If you look right here, man, you could go ahead and follow the Twitch at eHoodie Trey. Let's get started, man.
Over the first part of the season, the Mavericks are unsurprisingly performing below expectations. Yes, they've had a lot of injuries, but one particular thing that has stood out is how teammates have been frustrated by the way D'Angelo Russell plays, and it feeds into the larger chemistry issues the Mavs have been dealing with. Here's the two.
I'm gonna point out how many of these games I was at. I wasn't at this game, but my mom was, and she brought her friend who just so happened was able to get courtside seats. So that's cool.
One guy that's open on this side of the floor. But instead of passing, Russell tries to fight through the double team and throws up a wild shot at the rim, and the Mavs can't score to win the game.
But you know what? How can you even be surprised? How can you even be surprised that D'Angelo is this bad at being a teammate, bro? When he said after he got traded from the Lakers to the Nets, who's obviously a horrible team, he said, finally I could just play basketball and hoop. The man don't care about winning, bro. He just wants to go dribble ball around, shoot 50 shots a game, and then get his paycheck and leave, bro. He does not care about winning. Think about it. Before you pick up D'Angelo Russell, before you sign D'Angelo Russell, or before you try to trade for D'Angelo Russell, the man does not care about winning. He just wants to be there for fun.
Now, if we watch this again...
And this is proof, bro. His play in Dallas, he attempts to be like the hero of the city, and then what he said after he got traded to Brooklyn, he tries to be the hero of the city in Dallas instead of letting their #1 overall pick develop, bro. He has Cooper Flag in the corner, and he's standing at the logo with 6 seconds left.
Look at Najee Marshall.
Double team, and then you got Najee Marshall wide open, buck naked wide open. No pass, bro. Just being double teamed, and he wants to be Kobe.
They're both waving their arms to try and get D'Lo's attention, and they're frustrated because they both had a potential open shot to win the game. And after that, Kyrie and AD consulted D'Lo to just figure out what he was doing. Here's another one. Russell's getting pressured all the way up the court, so he's trying to get rid of his defender. And as the play progresses, you're going to notice how long it takes him to just execute a pick and roll, and that's just to get Anthony Edwards on him, which makes absolutely no sense. Najee Marshall was just watching that and couldn't believe what he was seeing before realizing that he's next in line to screen. After 20 seconds of dribbling, Russell then gives him a grenade, and that doesn't go in.
Shake my head, bro.
After
D'Angelo Russell is single-handedly being the Mavericks' downfall. I don't know. You know what? The combination of D'Angelo Russell and Jason Kidd are absolutely horrible, and it needs to end right this second. Because, first of all, Jason Kidd actually solved his problem by giving D'Angelo Russell a bunch of do-not plays. You know, he wasn't in the lineup at all, which D'Angelo Russell completely deserves. And the fact that Jason Kidd was like, D'Angelo, get back in the game. And then the Mavericks started being sucked all of a sudden, bro. When D'Lo was sat out, the Mavericks actually started winning. But now that D'Lo's back in, Mavericks are back to what they were. Horrible. And Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Jason Kidd had a good squad. Jason Kidd was never a good coach. Never. You got to the finals, sure, but you had Luka Doncic to bail him out. Jason Kidd in clutch situations is the worst coach in NBA history. The worst. In clutch situations. He had Luka Doncic to bail him out. Now Luka's not on the team, and now he don't know what to do in the clutch. Come on, man. Mavericks lost way too many games in the clutch because of Jason Kidd. Fire that man immediately.
Take the ball up myself, and instead of trying to run a play, he just decides to attack the basket and draws a foul. Now, The thing is that this has followed Russell throughout his career. Most probably remember JJ Redick infamously crashing out after he took multiple terrible shots last year against the Grizzlies. And the issue is that he has an irrational confidence, especially with his shooting, one that hasn't been tempered throughout his career. Naturally, he'll get more attention when he's in LA, but the reason this has been felt so greatly in Dallas is because of the Mavs' lack of playmaking. When Nico Harrison traded Luka last year, the Mavs were in desperate need of some guards that could run the offense. And while D'Lo is a microwave scorer, he's not a natural passer, and you'll see all the opportunities that his teammates miss out on. For example, the Mavs have a 3-on-2, and with Flag ahead of the play, this should be a straightforward pass, but he waits a dribble and more too long to make the pass, which then
he just slaps Steven Chisholm in the face, bro.
Russell and Clay run pick and roll, and that slip screen gets Clay open. But D'Lo's head is down, and thus takes an extra dribble, which gives time for the Clippers to recover. That pass is also way too high, so Clay now has to pivot into an ISO, and the Mavs are lucky that Flag bails them out at the last second. This one might be the worst though. The play here is for Najee Marshall and Flag to both set screens for Russell, but because Batum is overplaying him, Flag then goes to the basket. Russell doesn't want to throw that pass, so he just uses Marshall's screen instead, and that bounce pass is thrown way too far ahead. This is exactly where the problem lies. Russell's teammates are looking to him to basically create for others, but that's just not Russell's game. And what then happens is that no one knows what the other guy is thinking. This might be the most prime example.
Bro?
The Mavs.
And I think this was the same game D'Lo shot 0 for 6 from 3 in the first half too.
And as Russell
dude
gets
is
the ball,
actually horrible.
Caleb Martin is then calling for a lob, but D'Lo just stops at the 3-point line, which nullifies any of these potential rim running options. He then looks off Klay Thompson and pulls an open 3, but that's not the shot you're hoping for. So knowing that, Martin then tries to help Russell look for his own shot. He comes up to set a screen because he has Brook Lopez on him. Now Lopez blitzes, so Martin smartly flips his screen to help Russell to get all this space to score. But Russell wants to get his teammates involved, so he thinks Martin's going to roll into that space, which leads to a turnover. So the issue here is that Russell has a score-first mentality when the team is really looking for a pass-first player. And because of that, the Mavs have preferred to start Brandon Williams, who was playing in the G League for a large part of last season. In fact, their offensive rating has actually been 2 points higher when he's on the floor instead of D'Lo.
I'm not surprised.
The reason is that he's a slash-first, pass-first guard, so he is much better at attacking the defense and creating enough space for his teammates to then find better shots around the basket. This one's the best example. Williams runs pick and roll, and with Zoo and drop coverage, this would be a shot that Russell would probably just take, but Williams does a little hezzy and drives, which then opens up this lob to Gafford. So while Williams isn't as skilled as Russell, his teammates know what he's looking for, which makes the offense run smoother. And that's why the Mavs have found more success playing with Brandon Williams.
I was at this game too. Knicks.
So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so,
shout out Daniel Lee with the video. D'Angelo Russell, this is I hope this motivates you for something, but you are almost as bad as a player as Joel Embiid.